Hi. Well, I'm lying on the floor under the car. Right, it's now Sunday afternoon. I think this project could go on a little bit longer. I'll show you what we've dug out and where we've got to so far. So obviously, if you had a look at the last video, you'll see. Well, yeah, there have been a few, haven't there? But yeah, I'd cut some out of the floor section. But this is where we are now. So okay, so this is the box section that normally comes down. Floor comes across here. Trailing arm mounting point goes about here. Inner sill comes down here, and then sill here comes around. As you can see, the hole there. What we discovered previously, which is this new metal in here, and that hole, that was we'd uncovered that already, but actually it's significantly worse than first thought. So I've cut out sections here where it's rusty, and I've done the same here, ready for putting patches in and making a U-shaped piece that's going to go across. Well, actually it won't. So what we're going to do here is, so this I've cut back as, sorry, this one I've cut back as well, because it had some metal on it. It was starting to corrode and it was pitted, so better to go back there. And on the other side of that, I've actually cleaned it up like this, back to bright metal, using just a flat disc wheel. So that'll have a piece on it which comes to here, level with that, and comes across here, across to here. Then when that's in position, and I've got the mounting holes sort of about here and here where my forefinger and little finger are for the mounting point, once we've got those, and then we'll offer up a new piece of steel which will go right up here all the way along, and I've still got to do this corner a bit better, but that's a smaller tool. That will then come all the way across here, and then it has to follow the contour of this, which goes down there. I don't know if you can see it at all. Comes along, goes down to here. But of course, I've got to fix this first, and that's a major thing. So, with that in mind, if we go out and just go around. So if we go to here, light's gone. Let's get a new light. So here, this is very, very pitted. It's no good trying to do something with that. That needs to be cut out. Now, actually, the way this is formed is that the sill comes up here and behind this panel here. And you won't be able to see, I don't think, but there are spot welds there, and there. So my plan is, and then you can see down here what we've got. So this is two pieces. Now, actually, we've also got here, we've got some holes, no surprise at all, but not as bad as I had when I did the other side. And this is the piece down here that is welded in. You can't see it particularly well, I don't think, there on that. There you go, it's a bit better. This bit was the bit that was welded in down here and not attached to anything. Now, because these are based on an XJS, you can actually get XJS repair panels. So this afternoon I have ordered the panel that comes in here, and I'm going to then order this end of sill piece, which should come down around and drop down to give me this piece here that I need, and then I can then cut all of this out, and then I can decide what I'm doing and how far up I go here. Now, actually, there is a piece that you can get which does this whole thing. In fact, I think you cut it along the top here. I don't really want to take that much out because it's not too bad, and actually I'm quite happy. Even though we've got a little bit of rust here, I can cut a section up here and across, or actually what I did the other side, which is all the way along, and make a piece that goes in there. Take all this metal off where it's spot welded together to form that. Put a brand new piece in, and that is my preferred option. So it just depends what I can get for the XJS. But if the end piece is about that long, that you can't see that. It's about that long. I think it's about 100. Well, maybe I'm exaggerating a bit there. It's about 6 inches, I think. So we'll see, and then we can just drill out the spot welds, cut it down and round as far as we need to, insert it, spot weld it back on, put this end piece in, and then remake the floor. So it's quite a lot of work, but actually it's what we've got to do. I've had to go back a little bit further here because I noticed that where the seam is here it was just it was still lifting, so I've gone back to a part which is okay. Now the other thing we've done is that I noticed, gutted when I took the sill off yesterday, this side off yesterday, I've actually nicked this. Now this is a pain. I can't find the piece that's come off, because what I would have done would be glue it back in. Now that sounds a real bodge, but the problem with these wings is they're a composite, and if you try to fill them, it's hygroscopic, and it absorbs water, and then it lifts it. It lifts the finish. And if you look, I don't know if you can actually see on here, no idea whether or not you can, but there are, let's see if I can catch it. You see these bubbles here? You just see how that's the light's changing on it. And we've got one down here which almost looks like a ringworm. Where is it? There you are. Can you see that? That's moisture underneath the paint, which lifts it. So and you can't get these, I believe, because of the composite ones. The V12, so the DB7 Vantage with the V12, they put steel wings on, but they're different because the front skirt's different, and so they will fit, but you need to modify them. And frankly, I don't want to be modifying a front wing. The other way of doing it is that company, I think it's Chiltern Aston, no, I think I'm wrong there, do a carbon fibre front wing, but they're about 2006, something like that, per side. So these, if they've had some repair done on them, last a couple of years. So actually what I've decided I'm going to do is take this wing off, which isn't too difficult. Behind here, again, that we can access from behind here, a couple of bolts, and then it's just all the way along the top, and then in here, hopefully you can see those stainless steel nuts and bolts, with a steel washer or two actually, and then at the very far end there are a couple of stainless ones there. Undo those and that wing will come off, and I'll send that off to a good bodywork guy, well, a good painter that I know, and get him to do that. So we've done quite a bit today, yeah, the intention is to get this ready for the end of March so that we can go to Goodwood. Whether or not that's actually going to happen now, I really don't know. It'll depend largely how quickly I can get the repair panels, cut it out and get them in. Part of this whole thing was, whilst I've got this off, to renew the rear shockers and springs. That's only a day's job, but again, it's a day, so it may be that I get everything else done and that becomes a separate job afterwards. It's not going on tracks, so the fact that we've got new and old shockers and springs, and we'll just be having a nice cruise down the motorway and back, shouldn't cause me too many issues. I mean, it's not ideal in any way, but I do really want to get down to Goodwood in this, bearing in mind this hasn't been on the road since October 2021. So yeah, it really is a key ambition of mine to get this back on the road and working in that length of time. So there's quite a lot of work to do. Once I get the new panels, I can start cutting out at the back. Once I've cut out, I can start welding in. Of course, once you start welding back in, actually it comes together pretty quickly. So I'm quite hopeful. I do have to take the rear hub off. I'll show you this actually. So at the rear hub, we have here, you can see a hole here. This is a mounting hole for the trailing arm, but the bolt is in here and goes into this, and they just don't undo. So you end up cutting through it, but to get what's left in there out, we need to take this big pin out, jack this up, and then we can get at that from behind, or actually from in here. It's not a terrible job, but it's a pain. So again, that's got to be done to get it back on the road. So there's quite a lot to do, and then of course there's the trailing arm which needs refurbishing, and obviously lots of other bits and pieces, and that brake pipe needs replacing. So yeah, quite a bit to do. Let's see how it goes. Well, you know, when you've got an oldish car, it keeps me out of mischief, I guess, is the main thing. So hope you're enjoying the updates, and let me know if there's anything you want to know about it, or well, anything really, yeah, just put a comment in. Thanks for watching.